He was never in the code. He was in 15 years of changelogs.
Last week, the math. The week before, the edge of the math. Tonight, there is one more thing about Minecraft that the code never asked for, and the world has been carrying it around anyway for 15 years. Tonight, we follow a player who was never in the code. If this is your first visit, take a moment to subscribe. There's always a place for you at the fire. He was never in the code. He was in 15 years of changelogs. In 2010, a single-player Minecraft streamer posted a screenshot. It was an ordinary-looking build site. Oak planks, stone bricks, a few chests. There was one extra figure in the frame. A second Steve, standing on a distant hillside, looking directly at the camera. The eyes were wrong. Not the standard black and green, 2 flat white pixels where the pupils should have been. The streamer said in a follow-up post that it had been a joke. A friend of his, a beta tester, had stood in for a few minutes while he framed the shot. The friend had worn a different skin. The eyes were a skin feature. The community didn't read the follow-up. The screenshot stayed. The eyes are the whole story. 2 pixels. The standard Steve has a face that is a single skin file, and the eyes are 2 black pixels with 2 green pixels inside them. The Herobrine face is the same file with the black pixels changed to white. That is the entire difference. The whole 15-year myth, the creepypastas, the YouTube videos, the changelog jokes, all of it, 2 pixels. 2 pixels that someone, somewhere, swapped from black to white in a skin file. And the rest of the world did the rest.
Notch saw the screenshot. The original screenshot. The one that the streamer had posted. Notch was the creator of Minecraft. He had made the game alone in his apartment in Stockholm, and the game had become a thing bigger than his apartment. He replied to the screenshot. The reply was a single line. I'm going to remove him from the game. Notch has said since in interviews that he never saw a Herobrine. He was joking back. The reply was a joke in a reply to a joke. The tweet was preserved, screenshot, passed around, eventually lost from Twitter but preserved on every Minecraft fan wiki from 2011 forward. The next day, the beta 1.6.6 changelog went out. It was a list of bug fixes, mostly, a few new items, and one line at the bottom in the same font as the rest. Removed Herobrine. That was it. 2 words. Notch had taken the joke from a tweet into the official changelog of the official game. The first time the joke became a fact of the codebase. The first time a community-told story was given a maintenance entry in the software that the community was telling the story about. In 2011, a creepypasta appeared on a Minecraft fan forum. It was titled The Herobrine. The story went like this. Notch had a brother. The brother died. The brother's ghost lived in the code of Minecraft. Single-player worlds were haunted. The brother's ghost appeared in fog, on distant hillsides, in caves, in mine shafts, in the nether. The ghost had blank white eyes. The ghost was not hostile. The ghost was just there, watching. The story had no basis in any fact. Notch does not have a dead brother. Notch has a living brother. The creepypasta didn't need any of this to be true. The story's power was in the telling, not the facts. The creepypasta has been continuously rewritten and remixed since. The story's central claim is the dead brother. It is the part that is supposed to make you feel something. Notch made a game. Notch lost someone. The someone lives in the game. The game is haunted by the person's memory. None of it is true,
And the creepypasta knows it is not true, and the readers know it is not true, and the writers know it is not true, and the story is told anyway. The story is told because the shape of the story is the right shape for a haunted video game. A creator, a loss, a world, a ghost in the world. The shape is the thing. The facts are not the thing.
Every major Minecraft release from 2011 onward, the changelog includes the line, "Removed Herobrine." Every release. Java Edition, the full fat version of the game, the one that runs on Windows and Mac and Linux. The Bedrock version, the one that runs on phones and consoles and Windows 10 and 11, doesn't have the line. The Java version does. Every release. Not because Mojang is removing him. There is nothing to remove. The line is there because the community expects the line. The community expects the line because the line has been there. A joke maintained for 15 years by the people it was about. In 2017, Mojang held an Ask Me Anything. A developer on the record was asked whether Herobrine was in the Java source. The answer was 3 sentences. There is no Herobrine class. There is no Herobrine asset. There is no Herobrine in the Java source tree. The removed in the changelog has never been added, then removed. Herobrine was never there. The empty space where the joke points has been searched by Mojang, by players, by modders, by everyone who has wanted to know. There is nothing to find. The absence is the joke's location. The absence is the only thing the joke has ever been about. The empty class. The removed code point doesn't point to anything that was added. It points to a sentence about an absence. The Java source has been searched. There is no file called herobrine.java. There is no asset called herobrine.png. There is no skin registered, no mob data, no model, no behavior tree, no spawn rule, no render hook. The community has looked. The community has written tools that scan the source. The community has run those tools. The community has published the results. The results are consistent. There is nothing. The joke is a sentence about a file that does not exist. The file does not exist. The sentence is still in the changelog. Notch's second line. The 2010 tweet again. The one that started all of this. I'm going to remove him from the game. Read it again, with everything that came after in your head. The original tweet was a joke in a reply to a joke. A creator, a community, a single line of text, and the joke took root. The joke took root because the joke had a structure that the community could carry. A creator who could remove him, a community who could see him, a changelog that could list him. The joke structure, 3 forces, 1 absence, 15 years. He was never in the code. He was in 15 years of changelogs. In 2017, the Java codebase and the Bedrock codebase split. They had been diverging for years, but 2017 was the official split. 2 separate codebases, 2 separate changelogs, 2 separate games in practice. The removed Herobrine line went with Java. Bedrock never had the line. Players noticed in 2022. They started comparing the changelogs side by side. The Bedrock changelog had all the bugs. The Bedrock changelog had all the fixes. The Bedrock changelog had none of the jokes. The Bedrock changelog read like the changelog of a quieter world. A world without the joke. A world without the tradition. The sighting tradition, 2014 onward. YouTube, Twitch, forum posts, A Steve figure glimpsed in fog, a mob misread in the distance, a texture glitch in low light. A village with one too many figures. The community knows what the figures are. The figures are Steve-shaped mobs, or fog artifacts, or rendering errors, or simply the player's own avatar seen from an unexpected angle. The community knows. The videos still get made. The videos still get watched. The videos are titled Herobrine found in Minecraft in capital letters, and the thumbnails are Steve figures in fog, and the videos are an hour long, and the videos are watched by millions. The community knows. The community watches anyway. The 2017 Mojang AMA. Revisited. The dev who answered the Herobrine question did so in 3 sentences. The community asked follow-ups for 3 years. The follow-ups were about the changelog. The follow-ups were about the tradition. The follow-ups were about why the line stayed if the line had nothing to remove. The answer didn't change. There is no class, there is no asset, there is no source. The line stays because the line is part of the code base the way a comment is part of the code base. The line stays because the line documents the absence. The line stays because the line is the documentation of the joke, and the documentation of the joke is the joke. In 2024, a fan-made mod added an AI-controlled Herobrine to Minecraft. The mod became the most installed Minecraft mod of 2024. The Herobrine in the mod behaved like the Creepypasta Herobrine. It appeared in fog. It did not attack. It followed the player. It watched. Mojang did not respond. The thing that was never in the code was added by the community. The community named it. The community installed it. The community used it. The community removed it. The same cycle repeated. The same cycle, this time with a real file, a real class, a real asset, a real entry in the changelog, this time saying, added Herobrine. The joke, finally, made literal. The community, finally, made true. Notch in 2025 in an interview. The interviewer asked about the changelog line. The interviewer asked if Notch minded the joke continuing. The interviewer asked if Notch had ever considered asking Mojang to remove the line. Notch's answer was 3 sentences. I removed him before he was ever added. That was the joke. I don't know when the joke stopped being a joke. The creator, 15 years later, conceding that the community had outgrown the joke. The creator, 15 years later, conceding that the community had taken the joke and made it into something the joke was not designed to be. The creator, 15 years later, conceding that the joke was now the community's. 3 communities made Herobrine. Mojang, the Creepypasta writers, the players. Mojang kept removing him in the changelog. The Creepypasta writers kept writing him in the forums. The players kept seeing him in their worlds. No single community could have done it. Mojang alone would have been a one-line joke. The Creepypasta writers alone would have been forum noise. The players alone would have been texture glitches. All 3 together, repeated annually for 15 years, became a player who was never in the code. The thesis, the whole story. A community can invent something the code never had, and the invention can outlast the code. The Bedrock Changelog, 2017 onward. Read it sometime. It has all the bugs. It has all the fixes. It has none of the jokes.
The bedrock changelog reads like the changelog of a quieter world. A world where Herobrine was never mentioned. A world where Herobrine was never removed. A world where the tradition didn't take root. The bedrock changelog is what the Java changelog would have been if Notch hadn't made a joke in 2010. A list of fixes, a list of features, a list of things that were added, and a list of things that were removed. The bedrock changelog is the changelog of a Minecraft that doesn't have a Herobrine, a Minecraft that is in some way more honest, a Minecraft that doesn't know it is missing a joke. He was never in the code. He was in 15 years of changelogs. He was in the words of the Creepypasta writers and in the eyes of the people who saw him in fog, and in the single line of a tweet that started it all. A community can invent a player the code never had. A community can keep the invention alive for 15 years. A community can pass the invention on to new players, to new generations, to new changelogs. The thing that was never in the code is, in some way, the most real thing about Minecraft. If this episode helped you see your Minecraft world a little differently, subscribe. There's always a place for you at the fire. And in the next episode is a different kind of place. The next episode is the world's largest anarchy server, where there are no rules and the world never resets.